This is a security and defense announcement brought to you by the Boscali Ministry of Information. This is regarding the recent widespread release of propaganda from Pala, and is largely attributed to the first ever use of the UH-90 IBIS helicopter in a recent operation against Boscali civilian targets. The footage you are currently seeing is a collection from different sources, some taken by our own civilian workers at the site that was attacked yesterday morning, and some footage taken from the devices held by Primeval Special Forces captured by our own troops in the counterattack. We can now confirm that 2 IBIS helicopters were used in this attack, one acting as a guard gunship helicopter, clearly visible here guarding the docking area at the base of the structure, with its guns trained on our civilian workers attempting to escape by boat from the enemy attack. Once again confirming what we've been saying, that the enemy is a very brutal enemy who doesn't play by the rules. The second helicopter appeared to approach at high speed, once the first had taken up post guarding the docking area. It flew in at very high speed, flying extremely low under the rig in a very dangerous maneuver that very well could have ended in catastrophe for everybody in the area. Looping around, its pilots then appeared to prepare for a landing on the upper landing pad, and this landing seemed to take a considerably long time. Our own expert pilots, having analysed the footage, agree that this appeared to be a rookie-style landing. The pilots may well not have had a great deal of hours on this airframe type. Either that, or Pala are growing more desperate for pilots, and are therefore rushing their training and pushing pilots into action before they are ready. But in the end, the pilot was able to put down, and the Special Forces team disembarked and started to take possession of that area of the rig, treating the innocent civilian workers they found there with a very unreasonable and excessive use of force. Until at last, the helicopter pulled away, banking right in yet another extremely dangerous maneuver, and started making its way to the lower landing pad. Once again, our own expert pilots agree that this landing was a very rough looking landing. The pilot clearly was not a skilled hand with this helicopter, or perhaps with any type of aircraft at all. Its approach was far too low and far too unstable, and the dismount team in the cabin must have been thrown all over the place when the helicopter hit the deck and skidded to a halt meters away from the bulkhead. But in time, far too long a time, the second team dismounted and ran about haphazardly, knocking over our civilian workers and treating each of them to a dose of violence. The helicopter in the meantime reversed off the landing pad and prepared to take flight once again. By this point, our own counterattack was already in process, and no doubt the helicopter crews were about to abandon the Special Forces teams they had landed on the rig and so flee back to base. It is understandable that the reason this rig was attacked by Pala is because it is of vital importance to our civilian energy infrastructure, and with the common knowledge that the Boscali nation has to import most of its resources, and so with the destruction or seizure of any of our existing production infrastructure is of great significance in the war effort and to the lives of our people. And with winter round the corner, it is very clear that Pala are hoping to cause as much discomfort to our innocent civilian population as they are able to cause. It was about this point in the operation that our brave Boscali soldiers arrived to counterattack the enemy. Our tarantulas carrying our own special forces but quickly counterattacked and retook the rig without any losses. And so ended
the Boscali counterattack failed. They were met by a hail of missile and gunfire from our IBIS helicopters and our troops stationed on the oil rig. Your foolish generals sent them to their deaths. They did not stand a chance. The oil rig itself is now being taken out of action. It has been demolished entirely by our forces stationed there. And the few Special Forces men that were captured after their failed assault have been very forthcoming, telling our tactical questioners everything they want to know. The Boscali people, it will be a cold winter for all of you if you do not pressure your government into meeting our own negotiators at the peace table.